Hi, my name is Jeremy. Recently I got laid off from my horrible boss, found a website for deep web jobs, and applied for house sitting. I also recently read Chris's shift, and I think we applied for the same job. Mr. Salazar emailed me something along the same lines. I'll paste his email here. Your application has been accepted. Thank you for applying to the house sitting job. You will stay at the house from 12 a.m. until 4 a.m., and you must follow these rules. Your money will arrive at 6 a.m. after your shift. Always, no matter what you see or hear, stay in the bedroom. Either don't bring your phone, or if you do not turn it on, even if you get a notification. I will not email you during your shift. Arrive at 12 or a little before 12. If you arrive past 12, do not enter the house and send me an email. From 12 until 1, you are allowed to roam the house, but make sure to be in the upstairs bedroom by 1. Turn all the lights off, lock the doors, and close the blinds. This can happen anytime during the night. If you hear loud music from the camera room, put on a hazmat suit we have provided. Enter the camera room, walk to the security desk, do not interact with the security guard, and turn off the music from the iPod on the desk. Make sure to do this fairly quickly. From 1 until 2, clean up all the clothes in the bedroom, and hang them up in the closet. If any clothes have bloodstains, put them in the trash quickly. Make the bed. If there are more than 3 sheets, throw away any extra. If you hear a knock at the window, hide under the bed until the entity has entered and left the room. From 2 until 3, put the hazmat suit back on and walk into the downstairs area. If there is a man watching TV, turn the TV off and ignore what the man does. If there is a woman cooking in the kitchen, then turn off the stove and ignore what she does. There is a bathroom connected to the bedroom. If you hear the shower turn on, knock on the door 3 times, no more, no less. If the shower stops, it was done correctly. From 3 until 3:33, lay in bed and close your eyes. Do not fall asleep. Make sure to pull the blankets up to your neck and make sure they stay there. From 3:34 until 4, your shift is complete, and you are allowed to roam the house until 4. Do not leave before 4, and do not leave more than 5 minutes after 4. That is all. Your shift starts tomorrow night at 471 Peterson Drive. Sincerely, Mr. Salazar. I entered the house and looked around, just as Chris had said. It looked old, but you could live there just fine. The kitchen and living room were in pristine condition and looked like they were just bought yesterday. I walked up the stairs, walked down the hallway, and turned right just before the camera room, entering the bedroom. The room had a king-size bed in it, with clothes and bed sheets scattered around the room. There was a door off to the side of the room, which I assumed was the bathroom. The nightstand next to the bed held a small digital clock and a printed paper of the instructions. The clock gave a small beep, signaling my time had started. I bent down and picked up a couple pieces of clothes, varying from bras to underwear to hats. I hung them up in the closet and started to get bored, until I found a gray striped shirt with a large crimson stain on it. I immediately threw it in the large garbage can in the corner of the room and continued with my work. I was picking up the last pieces of clothes, ready to make the bed, when I heard 5 slow, hard knocks on the window across from the bed, and my blood ran cold. I dropped the clothes I was holding and crawled under the small space under the bed. It was silent until the door slammed open, and a woman, fitting the description Chris gave, entered the room.
I know you're in here. You can't escape. I will find you eventually.
I held my breath for as long as I could. She started to get angry and slammed her frail hands on the nearest things around her. She screamed in anger, wanting only to trap me in this house. Eventually she left and slammed the door behind her. I got up from under the bed, quickly collected the sheets, and made the bed, making sure to throw away any extra sheets. Only 2:45? I thought. Then came the loud music from the room next door. I calmly, but scaredly, put the hazmat suit on and opened the door. I cautiously stepped out into the hallway and saw down the stairs a man watching TV. I opened the door to the camera room slowly and saw a man, if you can even call it that, sitting in a chair. He had rotten dead skin and sat with such a haunch his back was almost at a 90-degree angle. I walked over to the desk and spotted the iPod.
Okay, Chris. You can do this. Pull it together.
The guard repeated himself. I gave him a look of sympathy as he stared up at me with terrified eyes.
Pull it together.
I grabbed the iPod and turned the music off. Chris covered his ears and kept repeating the same phrase.
Chris, you can do this.
I walked back to the bedroom just in time for the clock to give me a small beat and turned 2. Let's be honest. Chris is dead. The house has trapped his soul and forced him to work here for eternity. The reason I signed up was to find a way to release these trapped souls, and I think the entity has something to do with all of this. I kept the hazmat suit on and walked down the stairs. The man was sitting on the couch and watching a cooking show on the TV. I walked over to the man. He had polished hair, combed over to the side like he was a rich person. He had a nice suit and tie and nice pants, but his face looked like it had been rotting for years. The bone was showing in more than 3 places, and I'm pretty sure I saw a glob of skin fall from his face. His laughs were hoarse and deep, like he didn't have any vocal cords. I turned the TV off and the man froze mid-laugh. Then he melted into the couch seams. I shuddered and returned to my place upstairs. I entered and took about 10 minutes to take the hazmat suit off, only to be met with the sounds of a warm shower. I came closer to the bathroom and put my ear against it. I heard a lady humming lightly. Knock, knock, knock. The humming in the water stopped immediately after the 3rd knock. It felt unsettlingly how quickly it became silent. But faint and off in the distance, I heard sizzling eggs. I quickly put the hazmat suit back on and rushed down the stairs. The woman was cooking black eggs. She was like the man watching TV. Her apron and her hat were pristine, spotless, but her skin was, although in better shape than the man's, rotting. I reached for the dial but stopped.
Please. Please. Keep it on. Please.
The woman repeated with a soft voice. Regardless, I turned the dial to 0. The woman melted and I returned back to my bedroom. I thought this was going to be easy, but now I know what Chris felt. It is insanely scary being inside this house. 2:58. I pull the bed sheets up. 2:59. I get into the bed. 3. I close my eyes and get comfortable. The bed is surprisingly soft and I feel as though I could fall asleep even if a train was running right above me. I thought about everything else I had seen that night and that scared me awake for a few minutes, but it was a constant struggle to stay awake and conscious. But I knew I would become like Chris if I fell asleep. Finally, the clock beeped and the bed felt like it became stone, and I climbed out confused. I now had free time to walk around the house until 4. I checked in the camera room and Chris had disappeared. I waited patiently for 4 to come, and when it did, I went home and started plotting a plan. Like many of you have suggested to Chris, tomorrow I'm going to bring a knife and a lighter. I'm going to try to stab the entity and hopefully I can survive. I'll update again tomorrow. Wish me luck. Oh Jesus, the plan did not work as planned. I'm hurt, but I survived. Let me tell you what happened. Just because many of you were asking, I went back during the day, but the house wasn't there. Like many of you proposed, I took with me a bear trap and a large knife. I entered the house and looked around. It looked the same, and I placed the bear trap right outside the bedroom door. Again, like you guys suggested, I tried unplugging the TV before the man appears, but when I went to pull it out, it was like the cable was part of the wall. It was completely stuck and I couldn't manage to unplug it. The night started and it went as normal as it could, but while I was in the middle of cleaning up the clothes, I noticed the bed had no hiding space under it. I had to come up with a new plan on the spot, but my plan was, while I was sleeping from 3 to 3:30 and the entity was above me, I would take my knife and stab her. But now it looked like I wouldn't even make it to then. Knock, 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 knock. The entity signals it's coming and I panic. Where would I hide? I grab the knife and crawl into a small space behind the door. I would have to stab her as she came in or was hit by the trap. Step. The entity comes closer. Step. I tighten my grip on the knife. Step. A bead of sweat drops down my face. Bang. I hear the sound of the bear trap closing and a high-pitched demonic scream after it. I open the door and with all my might I swing at the entity in front of me. The knife slides clean into one of the entity's eyes and black goo starts spurting from the wound. The entity screams, revealing at least 100 sets of tiny sharp teeth. It clenches my hand in its mouth and I scream out in pain. Me and the entity fall over on top of each other and roll around for a while. I got scratched a couple of times and I stabbed her a couple of times, but finally I pinned her down and I stabbed until I knew without a shadow of a doubt that she was dead. I stood up, my arm bleeding profusely, and used a piece of clothing to wrap my wound. I didn't care about the rules anymore. I just killed the thing running this place. I sat down on the bed and rested for a few moments. Throughout the rest of the night, nothing happened. Just to make sure, I stayed until 4 and left then. When I arrived at my house, there was a letter stapled to my door, written by Mr. Salazar.
Wow. I have to say that I'm impressed. You managed to kill my best worker. It seems that you have already figured out my plan. The workers have normal shifts the first day. Then on the second, their safe place is taken away. But you made it work. Come back to the house tomorrow as if it was a normal shift, and we can discuss a reward. That is all. Sincerely, Mr. Salazar.
I don't know what he will do or give me, but I don't think I have an option not to go. Wish me luck. Now, throughout my 2 shifts, I was very calm. But after reading that letter, I was more than a little scared. I spent the day preparing. Hidden knife, small gun, body armor to my clothes. I was going to be ready for whatever he was going to do. I arrived at the house and entered as normal. The inside of the house was completely different. It's no longer a house, but a chamber. A tunnel down into the earth. I slowly walked down the stairs, ready to pull out my gun. I reach the final step and arrive in a blue room with many monitors. A large man sitting in a chair.
Hello, Jeremy. I am Mr. Salazar.
The man turned his chair around and I got a good look at him. He had a black goatee, balding black hair, and a dark suit on. Hi. What is this place?
This is my viewing chamber. I spend all my time here, watching the house, monitoring my workers.
He had a deep, scary voice. Well, what happened to the house after I killed that thing?
Once the house lost its best worker, the other workers suspended their existence, and the house will do nothing tonight. But if it doesn't have a new best worker by tomorrow, then the workers are released from the house's grip, and they will destroy and kill anything they come across.
So, why are you doing this?
Because, Jeremy, it is simply the only way to contain these workers.
Then, who's going to be the next best worker?
Well, Jeremy, I'm looking right at him.
Me?
Yes, you. Killing my best worker and touching that black liquid caused the transformation to begin. In the next day, you will see your muscles and meat disappearing. Your skin will become stuck to your bones. Your face will sag. Your eyes will turn black and yellow. Your teeth will fall out, and you'll grow an insatiable desire to return to this house.
What? I'm gonna become like that thing?
Unfortunately for you, yes. You can leave now if you'd like, but it is inevitable.
I stood in disbelief for a few moments. Was I really going to become that thing? I turned around and ran out the door. When I came out of the door, I was standing in front of my house, and behind me, the house disappeared. It's been a few hours. I'm noticing that I'm losing my muscles, and I have a really strong feeling to go back to that cursed house. My eyes have turned a dark gray, and I don't think I can stay away from that house for much longer. I know that I can't stop what's happening to me. All I can do is just go back to that house. Wish me luck.
Please leave your message